Hello, fellow weebs, and Otaku's episode of Anime Fix, your fix for all things anime. I'm Chase.
I'm Lance.
Hi, Lance.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm real sad I can't see you, though, but it's okay. I know it's better.
Yeah. One of these days, you'll buy me a new podcast mic, and so I can actually do it in my office and
Why
not.
do I have to buy it?
You make more than I do.
No, I don't. That's not even remotely true.
It feels like with the way you spend money all the time.
Would you calm down? Stop. What's taking over the podcast again for the third week?
Solo leveling, episode 3, baby.
Are you that hyped about it? I'm really excited that you are that hyped about it.
I am very hyped about it. This is phenomenal. I love it.
I told you would. But unlike the last one, free win, I am right about this one.
Yes, you are. And again, free run's not bad. It's just I went in, completely different expectations, so I wasn't in the right headspace mood for it.
Yeah, you were thinking I was hyping up Freewin, like, of the style of like what solo leveling is, I think. And I didn't hype up solo leveling as much as Freewin.
Yeah. I'm what I was expecting from Freewin is what I'm getting from solo leveling. So
yeah, and
I won't touch Freewin until after solo leveling is over.
Yeah, it's okay because you're a better person for it, you know?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that means, but I said it. What do you think? I watched I watched the episode. It makes sense where it ended.
Oh yeah, with the wolf with the robot jaw and and deep red eyes. What did I think? I thought it was amazing. It kind of like what I thought last week. That sort of in the loosest sense happened, because when everyone. So I said I think that's going to be like a simulation, and that not everyone, people really didn't die. They just got booted out when they got killed or escaped. So that's not true. Everyone did die. Totally. That died in there was some people who escaped, but the fact that when they went in there and the dungeon just wasn't there anymore, it just completely vanished, and he was.
I know. That crazy.
So yeah, so it makes me wonder what is, but I sort of totally forgot about the whole worshiping that god thing, because this is where it took a turn that I was not expecting. I was not expecting there to be, this consistent theme of displays that our main character could see, or a skill tree, or daily quests. Was not expecting that.
Why? Because it said player. Remember, you have to earn the right to become a player.
Yeah, but I didn't think it was going to go that hard. I thought that was just for that moment, and then I thought it was going to be something completely different. I don't know. It didn't click that it was going to be a sort of video game leveling up. He's I did my quest.
He's solo leveling. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. He literally is solo level. It's just him. It's just it's a one player game, and so I was not expecting that, even though that's in the title of the anime. Like the fact that it's actually playing out that way, that was sort of an interesting but natural turn. Because you get that, get the idea of solo leveling at the beginning, but I was, the way that they opened it, I was thinking that it's going to be so he's going to start closing dungeons on his own, right?
You would think so.
I wasn't expecting this sort of sort of DLC pack that only one person can play.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're not entirely wrong, because like, that instant dungeon that he's in right now, he has to finish it by himself, right?
Yeah, he has to finish it by himself or use a transportation stone.
That's true. He could use a transportation stone. Does he have one?
I don't think so. Not that we see. None of, like, when he's talking about his daily loot crates or his daily loot boxes, which it
Yeah.
just made me chuckle. He's getting like bandages and other garbage, but it wasn't until he got that access to that dungeon
Yeah.
via that key. That. So yeah, I don't know if he has any transportation stones yet.
Yeah.
I don't think so though.
Going back to the beginning of the episode, like, he wakes up, he has his arm back, he has his leg back, which is amazing, right? And then
Mhm.
it goes through, and like, they come, the association, right? The hunter association people come and bring that mana, like, I'm not sure what they call it, like a stone or whatever, to see if he has a second awakening. What do you think about, like, people can have a second awakening?
Um, what did I think about that?
Do you think that was
I thought
possible?
I didn't think it was possible because
Okay.
they were so heavy on the what you're born with or what you're given is what you have for the rest of your life, and it didn't seem like there was an occasional loophole. But again, they said it was rare, so maybe that's why the story didn't emphasize it because it's so infrequent,
Yeah.
right? I don't know. Like, I don't. It doesn't hurt the story. I kind of wish that there wasn't the concept of a second awakening
You wish there
because
wasn't?
I wish there wasn't
Okay.
because I feel like it gives what our main character is going through more value, right? If there's
Well, they said it's super rare, right? So, like, it doesn't happen often.
it is super rare, but the fact that it's still there, it's like winning the lottery, it's super rare that, I should not super rare because enough people, but like you have the chance of winning, but it kind of, I'm trying to think, how can I make the analogy? If you work really hard and you earn a lot of money because you're successful and you put in the effort to be good at what you do, and then some dingbat comes by, goes, I'm going to buy a ticket, and suddenly they have the same amount of, now granted what you do with the money, that's where that matters, but like, yeah, kind of like defeats the purpose of all the effort that the one
Yeah.
person.
I mean, if you think about it, it's just like, I mean that's the whole concept of this anime, I think. Like, being a hunter, it's a luck of the draw, and like, whether
Yeah,
you're an E rank hunter or an S rank hunter, just depends on what you awakened with, right?
yeah. And that's like so the idea that I said, it's like the loosest, explanation of how I view it. But anyway, if he'd gotten a second awakening, if like this had just been, he went through this thing and then his perk is a second awakening and he gets like an S rank all of a sudden from E rank to S rank, I would have been okay with it because it, doesn't detract from the character's sacrifice. But I feel like it wouldn't but it wouldn't be as powerful as if he had to work his way up to be as good as an S rank hunter like he's doing right now.
Exactly, and
So I
then
don't.
and that makes a better story, right? Because like, if he
Yeah,
went straight from that to S rank, like, he can defeat, you know, dungeons by himself, which he's
yeah.
working at it, but like, he can defeat, like, B rank dungeons by himself already, and
Is
that
that what
would
the instance
that
dungeon
and
was a B rank?
oh, I have no idea what the instance rank dungeon is. I don't
Okay.
think they give ranks to it, but I'm just saying, like, it would have, like, skipped so much stuff in the story that could have been
Uh-huh.
character growth and development, you know?
Yeah. So I'm glad he didn't sound like I'm okay with it existing in the universe. I'm super glad that it didn't apply to him. That he was still basically, as they said, he's basically a civilian. And like nothing, he's still just as weak as ever.
Yeah, he's only at 10.
Yeah. So, yeah. So that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt the story, but I'm glad it didn't apply here.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely like. I mean, honestly, still, man, it's still panel for panel from the manga, and it's like they're doing it so well. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I I'm wondering though. I didn't notice, but is there any charisma stats that he can put his ability? Because
No,
like,
no, there isn't. I don't think. Yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah. What do you think about him putting all his points into strength only?
I can see why he would do that, but I think that he's going to change that at some point.
Yeah, maybe.
He's going to realize that strength isn't always going to be the only solution. But I could see being so weak for so long, him putting in like that. I loved the little montage of him, doing like those like, and he's actually pretty. I mean, we see a scene with his shirt off. He's pretty ripped already.
Yeah, do you think it's about do you think him being ripped is the effort he's doing for those daily, like, workouts? Or do you think it's because he's putting all his points into strength? Do you think his body will change with, like, his, like, point changes?
So I don't know. I Part of me just feels like the putting his skill points is just more of a mental thing, and he's actually just getting like he's
Just
just
getting
getting stronger
stronger?
because because he's working out. But I think it is possible that his body will physically change
Oh,
by putting the
yeah, it
skill
should,
points
right?
into
To be like well, not the skill points, but, like, just him working out, his body should change, right?
his body will change, but I think the skill points will play a factor in some of that stuff. We'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Um,
I also think the full recovery is kinda like steroids where, like, he does a whole workout and then, "Oh, you're all better, muscles are completely recovered."
yeah.
That's always funny.
Um, Now, if you now let me ask you. So we talked a little about this already, but if you woke up and you saw like, hey, you need to complete this daily quest. If you don't, there'll be a penalty. Would you just go, I must be hallucinating, and then go back to sleep, or would you go,
Uh,
I better do this?
Honestly, I would probably go back to sleep. One, because I would probably think I'm hallucinating, or I wanna see what happens if I don't do it.
Yeah,
So I get a baseline of like, yeah, I gotta do this.
I feel like that penalty because they're like the penalty will. uh do they say match the crime, or do they say like will match the
I just think I said it
the
just results in
challenge?
a penalty and a penalty.
But yeah, but I thought I seem to remember there being like a relationship between the effort that goes into the quest will be the same amount of effort required in the penalty.
I don't know.
But I definitely though, if I got transported, so yeah, so a character ignores his first daily quest,
Yeah.
and then he gets teleported into a giant desert with giant worm monsters, and he has to survive for 4 hours while they're chasing him.
I
Do you
know.
think you'd make it the full 4 hours?
Yeah, I think I'd make it. You
I
think
don't
you
know
would
if
make
I
it?
would.
You
I
don't
don't
think so?
know. I don't know. I've never been a distance guy, a distance runner. Like I've always been like short sprints. Like, oh, let me say this. I've done distance running, but never at the speed he was going. Like, where you're
You think he was going
basically
fast?
all, huh?
You think he was going fast, or you think the war monsters are just slow?
I feel like he was going fast, but maybe they didn't seem slow to me.
Yeah, that's true.
But I tell you, if I would start doing what he did. Like I would wake
Oh,
up and I
yeah.
would be like, oh yeah, I'm never missing a daily quest again.
Do
I
you
don't
think
want
these
to go through
daily
that
quests,
shit.
like, are actually gonna be daily? Like, he has to do this every day or what?
I think so. Yeah, they
That's
better
wild.
be.
What do you mean
Yeah,
they better be?
because I'd love to see the stress on him where he's like, man, he's like he goes into a dungeon and he's like, man, I gotta really get this dungeon over. I only have like 30 minutes to complete, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups.
Yeah, I mean, you would think he would do it the first thing in the morning, right? Like, so he
Who
wouldn't have
knows?
that issue. Yeah, maybe he just forgets one day, or like maybe a dungeon
Yeah,
like just takes too long. I don't know.
yeah. But I I'm really curious to see. Like, I bet you at some point there's going to be another check. They're going to be like, man, he's going to go circle back to where he's going to do something, and people are like, wow, how'd you get so good? And they're going to do another mana check, and it's still going to be 10. Yeah,
You
he's
think
still going
so?
to be like, huh?
You think so?
Yeah, I think there's going to be no identifying marker to explain why he's suddenly able to do all these crazy things. At
Really?
least I hope. I think that
Yeah.
would be like that would add some mystery. Like, we know as the viewer what's happening, but like that would add some mystery to how this is working, and and a whole aspect of this universe that is unknown. Um,
Yeah, that would be cool. Like possibly like either it exists outside of like his powers like exist outside of the world and like all of it's being registered in a separate like mana box
yeah,
versus like the real world, or like that at a certain point like it is going up, but then at a certain point it still registers 10 on their scales because it's so high. Maybe
yeah.
that'd be
So
cool.
I want there to be some sort of like where the characters don't know what's going on, but all they can see is that he's able to like
Yeah,
surf down this giant monster's arm, and then and then slice him in half, and then he just lands, and he's got this like badass look on his face. He's like, yeah, I took
yeah.
down that.
Yeah, on obviously I've read the entire series, so like I know everything that's going to happen, and it's hard for me not to tell you everything that's going to happen, but I will refrain. But yeah,
This is so good, dude. Like, I'm so glad. Like, I wish I'd listened to you sooner when you're like, hey, you should buy the manga
yeah,
for the solo 11. Also, the TikTok you sent me of the dub that just got released, the English dub, it is
yeah.
so good.
That
It is so,
it sounded so good. It honestly did.
yeah.
Um,
So I'm eager. I'm definitely not going to fall behind just because I want to watch the English dub. I'll probably like because I doubt they're going to be caught. They're going to be probably a few weeks behind. So
yeah. To
it's
be honest
definitely
with
going to be
you,
like a what?
I said to be honest with you, I'm glad you didn't read the manga yet because you get to experience the anime first, and like since it's like side by side, it's gonna be great. And then like once season one's over, you can obviously start reading the manga because it's all out now, and it just gets better and better and better, man.
Yeah,
I can't say too many good things about it because it's just overall such a good like anime.
yeah, dude. Yeah, I what was I going to say? Um, I I really this is early, but I think this might already be in like my top 5 of
Ah,
everything I've watched to date.
it's only been 3 episodes.
I know, but the reason one of the reasons really drawing me into it, and it's one of the same things that drew me in the Tokyo Revengers, is how the main character is like weak but still perseveres.
Yeah,
What makes Tokyo Revengers so cool is that his perseverance, he doesn't get stronger, right? But his
yeah,
perseverance is
that
what gets
sucks.
people to, yeah.
I hate that about it.
But it shows that you don't have to be the strongest to be a good leader. You don't have to be the best fighter to motivate people. And honestly, if you stand your ground, it's kind of like a more elaborate version of a bully will back down if you don't back down.
Yeah,
It's kind of like that. Like, you haven't watched season 2, part 2 yet, but there were
I
moments
know.
there where like people that honestly would have taken down Takamichi, and he just doesn't back down, and they hesitate because they're freaking out. Like, there's this
Yeah,
one that really the stakes are like super high, and like his sort of like fearlessness intimidates the fuck out of them, and they're like, I mean, it's like I could just end this right now, but I'm so scared of the fact that you're not scared that
Yeah,
I am intimidated by you, and so like that's what makes him so like amazing as a
that's
character.
that is really cool. But
In this one though, it's different because we actually, but it is not lacking, but like it leaves you wanting. Man, I really want to see Takamichi get stronger, right?
yeah, but he never
And
does.
this one, this is sort of like the pipe dream of like, what if Takamichi actually did
Could get
become,
stronger.
we could get stronger, right? And so that's what makes this sort of putting in my top 5. It's sort of, giving me that satisfaction that I want because I want him to be so good. And so I get to see this character actually reap the benefits of his effort.
Yeah,
So yeah, this is already 3 episodes in, definitely in my top tier list. Like,
I'm glad. I'm really glad.
and it came out of nowhere, dude. Like,
No, it didn't. I kept telling you about it.
I know, but like, it came out of nowhere. I didn't expect something to so get in my, so quickly become one of my favorites. And like, it's so like, Tokyo Revengers took a while. Yeah, Psychopaths was an instant sell just because
Yeah.
it meets my my interest so well.
And that
But
first episode, like even the first like 10 minutes is a hard like right up your alley, you know?
yeah, and then like Attack on Titan became one of my favorites too. But I know that took a few episodes, to really like get into the whole universe and the story being told and everything like that. Like, so like, while I loved all those and I loved all those pretty quickly, I mean, we're talking like episode 1 and I was hooked.
Yep.
And then by episode 3, I'm like, I want to know more. I almost want to just go out and buy, the whole series just so I can read ahead.
I mean, I think they're up to like volume 11 now, like out on like at the stores. Obviously, you
Yeah,
can read it online too.
yeah. So, but yeah, this is amazing.
Bro,
I'm
so good. So
what
good.
any other thoughts like what do you think so far? Like I know you've read it and you said it's panel for panel, so
Yeah.
there might not be much there, but like how do you see the anime playing out? Are you surprised at where they're ending each episode? Or
Yeah,
choosing
so
to
yeah, and like I asked you, like I was trying to because I didn't watch it until like literally like 30 minutes before this podcast, but you called me, I called you, and I was asking like, let me guess where it ended at, and I was thinking it would end at the desert. But it is panel for panel. I just thought they would expand a little bit more on the desert, not just like him just running for 4 hours, right? But they ended obviously episode 3 in the instant dungeon fighting the wolf, right? So it's going panel for panel, and like to see it play out between the manga and the anime, um, it's just cool to see like they're taking their time, but also not spending too much downtime, right, on like the desert
yeah.
and stuff. So I think they're going at a really good pace. Um, and from where the anime is heading, I think it's only what 12 or 13 episodes, right? So I'm trying to think where it's going to end for the first
Mhm.
arc, first season, and I have an idea, but I probably will be wrong.
I definitely think that when you're adapting the manga to an anime, there should be some it's so great, but you're right. Like seeing like that desert maybe get expanded on, maybe like because maybe he didn't run for straight 4 hours. Maybe there were some places he hid out for a little while. Maybe there were, maybe there were some even closer calls. It would have been nice to see some of that universe, some of that, expanded on. But I get why not because it's so good in its current, flow. You don't want to hurt the pacing by we got to add a little extra lore here,
Yeah.
in this
Hey,
one scene.
entertain the masses. I'll
So
be right back.
Okay. All right. So I gotta shut up now.
How'd you do? Did you entertain them?
I was literally going to tell a story, and then you came back, but a story that I can't tell you.
Oh, okay. What's the story you can't tell me?
If only I could tell you.
That's fair. Does that have to do a soul level or something
I
else?
didn't even get far enough to really like give any context about what's behind the story. I just started. It was like, so, and then I saw you coming back. It's like, oh, well, I got to shut up now, and so.
Well, like I edit this, right? So like I would figure out what the story was.
You don't listen through the whole audio. I know for a fact that you just cut the beginning and the end, and
I have to find a snippet, so I do listen to most of it.
I don't think you do. I think you take a note of where the snippet happens and you just fast forward to that.
Are you lying to me? And you've actually read a lot of the solo leveling already?
No, I'm not lying to you.
Okay, you took a long pause there.
Well, maybe
It's
I
okay.
am.
It's okay if you have, Lance.
Would that upset you if I had read everything and I just kept it from you?
No, I would want to talk about it. That's like I want to talk about it. That's why.
No, I have not read ahead. I
Okay,
have no idea what's coming.
but now I'm curious what that was.
Well, you'll never find out.
That's fair. I can leave real quick and come back.
No, it's okay.
Here, hold on a minute.
It's okay.
Entertain the
No.
best.
I'm not doing it because if you are listening through all the audio, I don't want to. It's a spoiler.
What's the spoiler? What's the spoiler?
Let's focus on the podcast.
We are focused on the podcast. We're talking on the podcast right now. No, I don't think there's anything else I need to talk about or bring up. I mean, we covered most of what happened in it. Got to see a lot more of his sister in this one. She's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, one thing that we didn't touch on, I think it's important. A lot of the people who escaped that dungeon are super traumatized now,
Yeah,
and they don't want to go back in.
or disabled.
Traumatized or disabled.
Yeah, that's wild, huh?
Which really makes me what makes me curious is, so obviously this area, this was super like, if you or I had been put in that scenario, like we would have been terrified, right? And like,
Nah, we would have finished it. We'd have cleared it.
Whatever. But the fact that it was so terrifying that there are people who are traumatized and unable to like continue as hunters.
Yeah.
Makes me just wonder how this just completely what the scale was like compared to like the most difficult S rank dungeon. Like was this like an S plus rank dungeon? Was this was this just an S rank second dungeon? Like I'm just curious what made it, because we've seen snippets of other dungeons that have been cleared, right? And they've all been scary to, what made this so much scarier than that people would quit, right? Because they had to have seen some traumatic things before. This can't be the first time someone's died in a dungeon.
Yeah, but like the feeling, I think, of like helplessness, where like everything that happened was instant death, right? Like even the ants, right, at the beginning, like they were just getting chewed on, and they didn't die instantly, and like they had some hope of like, let's wait until the S rank heroes get here or whatever, because they knew that they were coming. Like in this double dungeon, right? Like they had no idea if anyone was coming. Everyone was dying instantly, right? Like it was very traumatizing.
Would you say that, do you think an S rank would have survived if they had behaved like they did?
No,
No?
gosh, no, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I guess it would depend who the S rank person in there was, because I don't know.
Yeah, I
Different
kind
S
of wish
ranks, I
there
think,
had
have
been.
different powers.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen an S rank in there, just because I think that would have added like, it was already super scary, but like if an S rank got killed at the beginning,
Oh,
That would
yeah.
have that would have really added to the to the fear of like people surviving or
Yeah,
not,
like,
so
we're screwed.
yeah.
There was a B
Um
rank in there though, right? Or an A rank?
I know I think there was at least well, the girl, the healer was a B
Yeah.
rank
Well,
healer.
the leader of the thing that lost the guy that lost his arm, wasn't he B or was he A?
I want to say he was an A,
I thought he was an A. Might be B. I don't know.
but and also what rank was this dungeon? Was it like
It was a D
was it
rank dungeon.
okay.
Yeah, it was a D rank because the girl doesn't go into B rank or higher or C rank or higher. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Which then probably adds to the whole like instant death in a D rank dungeon,
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
So, but yeah, all in all, it's great. Can't wait for next. I'm definitely gonna start watching the English dub, probably in tandem with the
I would too, honestly.
yeah.
You think you're gonna wait till
I
season
gotta,
one's over to pick up the manga, or you think you're gonna go get it?
ooh, there's just so much going on right now that I'm reading and getting into and like other sort of entertainment, like games and stuff like that, and videos. So I don't know if I'll have the time to start on it until the end of season one.
Yeah, totally get it. You can tell Tori that I'm um actually sitting down and reading through Blue Period manga. So
I thought you had read it already.
no, no, I got it for Christmas. I just haven't sat down and actually spent time reading it.
Ah, did you get the full volume or the full set or?
Not the full set. No, I got the first 3 volumes. I'm halfway through volume 2 now. It's obviously that the first couple volumes are just season 1 of the anime, but I wanna do it
Uh-huh.
justice and see what differences there are between the manga.
Okay, cool.
But yeah,
Um,
I think that's it. That's everything I wanna talk about on the anime. Super excited for
oh,
more.
you want to mention what you sent me about the voice actor? I think that'd be
No,
really
what'd I say?
how he coughed up blood.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I sent Lance a snippet from a news outlet that the voice actor for, Solo Leveling main character Sun Jinwoo, during the scene,
No,
when
this
he
is
was
the
getting
Japanese voice actor, right?
yeah, yeah, Japanese voice actor, when he
Okay.
was getting stabbed and everything and, like, going through all that, he was doing it, like, so hard and so much that he started coughing up blood, which was just a testament to, like, how engaged he is to this role, and I couldn't be happier for it.
Yeah.
Thank you to him.
So with that, I think we're good for the week.
Yeah, there's no guessing, no asking about what's gonna be next. It's gonna be Soul Leveling episode 4 until this whole thing's done, 'cause, we are both super enthralled and excited about this anime, and everyone else should be too. Um, we'll see if we'll keep going with it depending on viewership, but I think we'll do it regardless.
I mean, we got some other anime in the pipeline that you could start watching. I'm ready to talk about.
That's fair, that's fair. We'll probably do that too. Alright, we'll catch everyone next time when, we'll definitely watch and review episode 4.
Bye.